So I got the sauce going, but I need a bunch of this biz. So what I'm gonna do is try and just sort of like pinch off at the base of the leaf a bunch of basil. And I'm also gonna try and get like the biggest leaves, like definitely this guy. And what that'll do is actually open up a lot more sunlight for some other things to grow. Notice there's like basically not a lot of growth down here. That little leaf isn't getting much. But if I grab this big guy, then that leaf down here will have plenty more room to grow. So try and get the big leaves up top. And I'll do this. I'll keep doing that later on so you don't have to watch me. And what I'm gonna do is I might as well take the bits that I have already gotten. I'll show you the sauce going on now. So what I'm gonna do is just sort of rip them apart in some little pieces here. They don't have to get ripped up too much. And like I said, I'm gonna put a lot more in here. About maybe 10 or 15 times more basil. I'm also going to turn this up, but not too much. Let that go. Remember, we've got our garlic, olive oil, some olive oil with ghost chilies to give it a little kick, carrots, and then 3 cans of the tomato sauce. Or actually, crushed tomatoes, not tomato sauce. We're making the sauce. And now I'm going to throw some spices. I'm going to throw some adobo in there and a little bit of salt and then some sugar. And I'm also going to put some pepper in, and that's over there. So this is sort of the most important part to not screw up. You can always add more. So if the sauce comes out a little bit bland, then you can add salt or pepper later on. So again, less is more. So I'll just kind of coat the top lightly, nothing too crazy, but we do have quite a bit of crushed tomatoes in there, so we can definitely add more to that, but we'll do that later. And then as far as the sugar goes, because a lot of people are a little bit unsure about the amount of sugar too, I usually do about, like, remember the carrots are going to give it a little bit of flavor. I usually do about, I never really measured this out, but I would say about, let's say 2.5 tablespoons to 3 tablespoons. So basically like a tablespoon per one of those big cans. That's about how much sugar I put in. And then I'll put in some pepper. I'll do the same thing with the pepper and sort of just dust it around. And then I'll do that with the salt a little bit. Remember, less is more. You can always season it later, but you can't ever take it out. So get it started and then sort of like taste it and give it some time, I think is a good rule of thumb. So I'll mix all this up and add a whole bunch more basil, and then I'm really just going to let it go and keep stirring it, for 2 to 3 hours, if not more. And then keep tasting it and keep adding as needed. Okay, tomatoes.